In this video, I'm going to share some easy ways to get creative with journaling. I'll also go into why these techniques are helpful and how to use them, coming up. Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and I want to welcome you to Happiness and Health Gains. Here on the channel, I give tips and tools to help you gain your happiest and healthiest self. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please make sure to subscribe for more videos. This is part 3 in my journal series, and to close out the series, I'm going to be talking about a few different creative journaling ideas that you can use to boost your creativity. And if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, then you can find links in the description to watch after this video. By utilizing creative journaling, you're not only broadening your imagination, but you're also causing your brain to think outside the box in new ways. So if you're a creator of any sort, using the journal forms that I'm going to be talking about today can help you to improve your skill set quickly. And if you don't consider yourself a creator or artistic person at all, then these tips are still going to help you to start to nurture and grow your creativity. One last thing before I dive into the techniques is that you can use any of these forms along with your well-being journal. There's no doubt that these are awesome for building your artistic and creative side, but they can also be really helpful for your personal growth as well. So, without further delay, let's get into the creative journaling techniques. First up is mind mapping. And when you first look at a mind map, it might seem chaotic, but it's a great way to get out all your thoughts and ideas. A mind map is basically what it sounds like. It's a way to brainstorm, and it even looks a little bit like a map when you look at it. Mind mapping is really useful when you have things that you need to have categorized, when you're not sure how to get from point A to point B, or if you've just got way too many ideas and you're not sure how to sort them all out. One thing you could use a mind map for is if you were creating a fictional character. So to show you how to do this, let's pretend that we're writers and we're developing a character. To start, we would get out a piece of paper and put the character's name in the center of the page. And we would do that because we're designing a character, so everything else that we put down is going to branch off from there. Then from there, we draw some branches off of the character's name that are going to lead to new categories, like physical characteristics, personality traits, flaws, or maybe even what their family life is like. Then you can create new branches off of each of those categories, either to make new categories within those categories or for new singular traits. Mind maps are a really easy and quick way to sort out your ideas, and by having categories to place information into, it's also getting your brain to think about ideas that you might not have thought about before if you were just dreaming up a character in your mind. Next up are prompts. And prompts are essentially a word or phrase that can be used in creative thinking to create an image or story of some sort. Like mind mapping, prompts can be used with writing as well as any form of visual art. Prompts are great if you want to practice with improvising or get out of your comfort zone, or even just to get more comfortable with whatever type of media you're using. So let's say that the prompt of the day is the night of a full moon. Now this prompt is fairly basic, but it gives you enough that you can really get creative with it. If we were writing a short story based off of this prompt, it could be anything from a scary story to something romantic. Whereas if we were making visual art, we could get very literal with that prompt and straight up draw a full moon, or we could take it in a different way and paint a scene showing a werewolf transforming in the woods as the light from the moon is shining through. There's really no limitation on what you can do with prompts, so it's the perfect way to get creative. Now, when I refer to doodling, I'm not meaning drawing little flowers or stars all over your paper like you might do if you're bored. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but what I'm talking about is doodling with more of a purpose. So doodling is really helpful to gain clarity or see different perspectives of what you're drawing. It can be quick and easy, and it can even be messy, and that's perfectly fine. Some of the easiest ways to incorporate doodling are going to be thumbnail sketches, collaborations, or collages. Let's start with thumbnail sketches. So if you don't know what those are, it's basically just a tiny little sketch, and it's not something that you have to spend a lot of time on. You certainly can if you're very detail-oriented, but if you're just using it to try and get like an idea of what the scene that you're setting up is going to look like, then you don't need to spend a lot of time on it. In any kind of art class, it's likely that you're going to learn that you have to create a number of thumbnail sketches before you make any kind of commitment. And this is so that you can really explore what's going to work best. I can't tell you the amount of times where I had an idea in my head and it just seemed so cool and perfect, but when I actually drew it out, it wouldn't have worked. Whereas some of the sketches that I've done, it looked so much cooler than my original idea, but if I hadn't have drawn them out and pushed myself to think about different perspectives or arrangements, the ideas, they never would have come to be. Collaborating is another great way to get creative. All you have to do is find at least one other person, and then you take turns drawing a little something on the page. With this method, you can create some really cool and sometimes unintentionally scary drawings, but they're still going to be really unique, so they're still really cool. My best friend and I have made some drawings together, like the one on the screen, and I always love doing them because in the moment, I'm pushing myself to think about what I can add, even if it's just the smallest detail like a cloud. Plus, it's a great way to spend time with others. And you can also do the same kind of thing, but on your own, and make a collage of different doodles. It's a fun way to get creative and practice drawing different things without feeling like it needs to make sense or look perfect. And even if the drawings do come out a little scary, like this guy, they're still fun to see how you were challenged creatively. The thing that I love the most about using any of these techniques that I've talked about today is that they're all going to push you to grow creatively and to think in new ways. I know that I only covered a few different ways to creatively journal, so if there's something you'd like to see a specific video on, let me know in the comments. And if you found value in this video, then please hit that like button and share this video with a friend.